Laid Off, How to Reinvent Yourself in 2020. This webinar is for you if you've been professionally trained as a lawyer or a paralegal or an engineer or maybe a software developer or a business analyst, or maybe you've been a consultant, maybe an earth scientist like a geologist, perhaps an architect, or a designer of some kind, or maybe you're an HR specialist, or any other professional white-collar occupation, and you've lost your job. You've been laid off. You've had your salary slashed. And you are sick and tired of being at the financial mercy of others. You are anxious, mad, and determined to succeed despite the economy, and more importantly, you're just pissed off. You don't have a lot of savings, and you need a game plan, and you want financial independence, even if you're rehired. Well, this webinar is how you will change everything. But first of all, let me tell you a story. My name is Doug Knoll. I'm a lawyer turned peacemaker. I have a law degree and a master's degree in peacemaking and conflict studies, and I left a successful trial practice in 2000 to become a mediator. I built a very successful mediation practice, making a six-figure annual income. And then in 2008, as most of you will remember, the world economy went into the worst decline since 1929, and my practice dried up overnight. I went from mid-six figures to mid-five figures. Big house, gone. Fancy car, gone. Fun ski vacations, gone. Great fly fishing trips, gone. And unfortunately, 17-year-old marriage, gone. Basically, comfortable lifestyle, gone. I went from living in a beautiful 4,500 square foot home on 20 acres to living in a one-room mountain cabin. And the problem was that nothing that I was good at in those years was in demand. My professional training as a lawyer and mediator was now worthless. So I looked around and began to see the possibilities in the internet. And I reinvented myself as an online entrepreneur. And so today, even during this deep economic crisis, I ski 3 or 4 days per week during the winter, except when the ski area closed down because of the pandemic. I hike in the mountains above us in the summertime. I live in a smaller but beautiful home on 10 acres south of Yosemite. And I'm back to a six-figure income. I'm married to the love of my life. And what's really cool is I don't need to take vacations because every day is a vacation for me. But when I take a vacation with my wife, we'll bareboat charter on a sailboat, sail ourselves around the British Virgin Islands. Or we'll go skiing in Telluride or Deer Valley. Or we'll go swim with dolphins in Hawaii. Or even spend a long weekend in Big Sur. And of course, we're on pause right now until the pandemic passes, but these are the things that we can now do whenever we want. And I'm not financially dependent on my professional practice as a mediator and an arbitrator, although I still do that work. So right now, you feel a little panicked over the collapsing economy and the pandemic. And you're anxious about whether you'll have to go into deep credit card debt in order to survive. You're confused and uncertain about your future career prospects. And you're worried about how you're going to support yourself and your family in the months and years ahead. Well, what if you could develop a business in about 18 months that could provide you financial independence? You could work from home. You could work as long or a shorted workday as you choose. You could develop a passive income stream that would support your family, and you could have fun doing all of this. And you could keep this business growing even if your old job came back. I'm going to show you the basics of how to do this in the next few slides. And I'm not going to try to sell you on anything. This is just to help you because I recognize that a lot of people are in stress right now and I'm not, and I just want to help. And I'm going to offer you some free training. And people say, well, there's no such thing as a free lunch. But in this case, what you're going to learn is that the way to make money online is to give free stuff away, which is really cool. So let's dive in. First of all, what is internet marketing? Well, internet marketing is the business of selling goods and services to buyers via the internet. And of course, Amazon is the biggest example of internet marketing. So your business will largely be internet marketing. And you're going to either develop a product or service that you're going to deliver online. You will build an audience of people interested in what you have to offer. And you will either create or find offers that your audience will be passionate about. And because they're passionate about the offers, they'll purchase them from you. And that's how you make money. That's it in a nutshell. So what do you need for this kind of business? Well, first, you need training. Now, there's a lot of training being offered right now by a lot of different people. Don't be fooled by people who say you don't need technical skills. You need a lot of technical skills. They're not difficult to learn, but it takes time. Many online trainers are appealing to your laziness. This is not lazy work. Just like any other business or profession, it takes discipline, patience, and persistence. Now, there are a lot of training options out there, and most of them don't work. So what I've learned over the years is to stick to the basics. So what are the basics? Well, you've got to learn a little bit about how to set up a website. You've got to learn a little bit about what sales funnels are. You've got to learn how to do email marketing. You've got to learn a little bit about how to write copy. And you've got to learn a little bit about internet advertising through things like Facebook or Google or other advertising outlets. A lot of this stuff can be complex, but none of it is difficult. And the key here is to stick to the basics. So my recommendation is that you start with the 14-day challenge, and there's the link. The 14-day challenge was developed by Anthony Morrison and myself. And basically what the challenge is all about is that the basics of what you need for success. Basically, you're going to invest 10 minutes a day for 14 days. Now, if you can get through the challenge, you are ready to succeed with your online business. The whole purpose of the challenge, and that's why we call it a challenge, is to see whether or not you've got the discipline to stick it through. And if you do, you'll do well. If you get distracted or procrastinate or don't do it in 14 days, then probably this kind of business is not for you, because you are self-employed in this business. You do need to have the discipline to sit down every day and make things happen. But if you can get through the challenge, you'll be ready to take advanced training and all of the skills needed to succeed. And I'll be recommending what those courses are. And here again is where you learn to make money is when I make recommendations. Whether or not you accept my recommendations are up to you. But of course, I get paid a commission if you decide to take one of these courses that I found to be excellent. You don't pay any more money for it, but we make money by presenting offers to people, and if the people accept the offers and buy them, then we get a little bit of the action. And that's how internet marketing works in large degree. Now, in addition to the training, you're going to need some working capital. Don't be fooled by people who say you don't need any money. They're wrong. Basically, $500 a month is going to get you started. Now, you can do it for less, but your business is going to take a lot longer to grow. So if you can scrape together $500 a month, which is mostly going to be paying for some basic tools and also paying for some advertising, you will be able to get your business going, and it'll grow at a reasonable pace. Now, there's a lot to learn and master. Don't be suckered. There is nothing in this business that is get rich quick. But a lot of marketers will appeal to your greed or your laziness instincts. Don't succumb to those. Don't chase bright, shiny objects. You're going to hear a lot of people saying, my clients made $10,000 last week. Maybe they had one client out of 10,000 that got really lucky and made some money. But 99% of these people's students and clients make no money whatsoever. So don't chase that stuff. Stick to one strategy until you start making money. The other thing that I need to tell you is, and this is something else that internet marketers will not tell you, you got to figure that you've got to plan on 6 months before you make a dime. You're going to make a lot of mistakes. You're going to take a long time to learn some of this stuff. But your first dollar is not going to come in for a while. And the truth is that most of the famous internet marketers out there took years before they were successful. And these guys are really successful today. I mean, they're making high 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure numbers, but it didn't happen overnight. It took them years to do this work. So like any business, this takes time and effort. If you're in dire financial straits right now, this is not going to save you. It will save you if you start working on it in some time, but you are not going to make a lot of money really fast. But the key is that you can do it. Anybody can do it. And the way to get started is to take the 14-day challenge. It's free, and we'll be there to coach you along the way. And then when you get done with the 14-day challenge, you can decide where you want to go next. Click on the link, put in your name and email address. You'll be immediately directed to the members area. Join our Facebook group, and we'll see you inside.